So guys, I'm just going to show you the basic Butlins apps. Obviously I've got over here the Butlins Skegness app, and on this side I've got the Butlins B Share, which is the one that we're going to click first. Let's click don't allow for that. Right, so what this allows you to do is, obviously if you're on park and you click allow for your location, it'll pick up that you're in Skegness. Because I'm not there, it won't pick it up. So this lists on this app, this is available on Android and iOS, and you can see here, get that about as close as I can, I think. It shows you all the venues essentially. It doesn't show you the food places, just the venues. So you can click on and see a little bit about the various places. So we'll click on Reds, for example, and it'll tell you about Reds. So it'll say like your venue, your guide for what's on, an order to your table. So the tables have numbers on them. I don't know how that works if you're on the all-inclusive food plan. We didn't actually try that, so I'm not sure how effective that would be. Because I can't imagine them coming to your table with a scanner and you have to scan the QR code in. So I'm assuming that's for paying guests. Your what's on guide, let's click that. And you'll see here it tells you some information on it. They're all straightforward to use. But yeah, for me, you could do with having more information on there. Obviously, to change your venue there, and that's just to order your drinks. I don't think there was anything else on there particular of any note. To be honest, it isn't the one that we used as such on holiday. So I'll go to the one we did use on holiday, which was the Butlins Skegness one. So if you click on this, here's your park. So this is Skegness. And basically you can zoom in just by opening the screen up. It shows you where you check in, where you might be staying, etc., the various areas. So if you just minimize that down a bit to the full park. So if you want shows, if you press shows at the top, it'll show you all the venues that have shows on. If you click food and drink, it'll show you your food and drink venues. So in our case, we were down this side of the park. This one's the diner, which we didn't go in, but you click on it and it tells you all about the diner. Okay, so the main ones we went in were around here, which was Coral Beach, as you can see there. View details, and it tells you that it's a dining plan and basically what's what there. But if you want to view the menu, if you click on the menu there, which was what we're going to go through, got the disclaimer. So you'll see here at the top it says, what is it you're looking at? Click the arrow to open that up, and it says what days you're on. So for example, when we were there on the Monday. Where's that not opened? Monday. So it's me, I've just not scrolled down enough. So this is the food court on a Monday, so you get white roll. This is what's on in it says every night. Not everything is correct, as we found out ourselves when you go in there. Some of these items are not available on the night, even though the menu suggests that they are. So we'll go through it. As you can see there, white rolls, bread rolls, butter, tomato soup. Cold meat tonight is beef and gammon and pork. So it lists 4 meats there. I'll tell you now, there's not 4 meats there. It'll be one of the 4. Even though it says that, then you've got your salad, so you click on your salad and it'll say breadsticks, cucumber, carrot cake, grated carrot, sweet corn, red onion, mixed olives, blah blah. You can see it all on the screen. And you just do the same. So the main one for me is always main courses, which they do change daily. So basically they have the equivalent of like a Sunday dinner pretty much every night, more of a pub grub type thing. So in this case we've got beef lasagna. On another night that might be beef noodles, or it might be a spag bol type thing. The hot piri piri chicken thighs, right? So I'm going to go through some of these because I did have some of these. I didn't have that. I tried that lasagna. Let's not talk about the lasagna. The garlic bread was as dry as a bone. The lasagna basically didn't have much flavour. The piri piri chicken came and it was nice red on top, and I was really looking forward to that. Essentially, the entire flavour of that chicken portion was in the skin where the piri piri dusting was, which wasn't great, but it was edible. The chicken looked almost grey. The Thai style fish cake, which was my next go-to because that chicken was rank. It was just a fish cake. I don't know why it's called spicy Thai. Maybe that's the name of the company that supplies it, because there weren't no spices. It was a regular fish cake. I didn't have the vegan stuff. I did try the gravy, but it wasn't good. Veg and stuff. I did have the chips, which weren't too bad actually, the chips, to be fair. The green beans, no. Green beans were like halloumi fries on your teeth. They were terrible. The cauliflower was crunchy. The beans, I've never had beans that tasted quite like that. Now the kids' stuff, when you look at it, it looks amazing because it's like chicken nuggets, right? My kids like chicken nuggets. They didn't like those. They love pasta. They want pasta all the time. Mac and cheese in particular. They had the mac and cheese here, couldn't stand it. They also love pizza and they want pizza all the time. They did not like the pizza here. So although I looked at this and saw chicken nuggets, brilliant, kids sorted, pasta, brilliant, kids sorted, pizza, 3 types, 4 types, there wasn't 4 types, there was 2 at a push on any one night. They didn't like any of the pizza, and to be fair, I could see why. It was more like a biscuit than pizza. It was rock hard. Hot desserts, they have 2 a night. I think you'll see in the video. I did have the sticky toffee sensation sponge. No. It was just completely flavourless, as was, and I said the gravy then, as was the custard. The custard, it did its job in that the custard did wet the food, but it just wasn't good. The apple crumble, it wasn't too bad. It was a proper crumble to me, it's like crunchy on top, where the biscuit type thing is crumbled, the crumble. Yeah, it was all a bit soggy. It was overly sweet, but it was edible. And to be honest, that's what the food section turned into, what's edible. The cold desserts are pretty much the same every night. Your chocolate fudge cake, your Eton mess slice. Again, they are what they say they are, but they're not quite what you're expecting when you get to them. The ice cream factory, I didn't try. The kids seemed to think that was okay. The juices from the machine, I did not have. I did not enjoy the kids' faces when they tried those. They didn't really seem to like the juices at all. The coffees, I did try cappuccino, did try espresso, I did try latte. I didn't like any of them. They were vile. It was like one sip, not having any more. I didn't want to try the hot chocolate. Apparently some more people in our group, 1 or 2, did have the hot chocolate and said it's better than anything else, so they stuck with that. I didn't have, after the first day, a single drink in the place. But yeah, so they have baby food as well, and a section for all your condiments, knives and forks, etc. So that's your mains. So I'm going to click on breakfast and we'll look at the breakfast. So the pancakes they were dry. the bacon, so I'll get to this in a bit, but the bacon overall, you see, a lot of people who enjoy bacon, they kind of expect bacon to be a certain way. So like myself, a majority of your flavour is in that rind. If you've got a bit of a crispy rind, your bacon's normally done, and you get the extra flavour from the rind. That wasn't really the case here. No matter how much you searched, it was difficult to find decent bacon, and the rind was like white. It was like it is when you put it in to look at. I'm not saying it was as chewy as that. It was as chewy as that. But yeah, it wasn't great, but if you pull all the rind off, you could just get away with it with toast. While I'm on toast, so there's two venues that we went to. Coast, which is a smaller venue. Coral Beach, which is a slightly larger venue. It's probably, well, slightly large, probably about 5 times bigger. So the toast in Coral Beach, the chef or the dude toasted it and put them all on plates. So when you had the toast from there, it was like just stale because it's been sat on the side for 10-15 minutes, probably underdone in the first place, so not the best toast. I thought it was chewy toast. However, in Coast, they had a toasting machine like you'll see in your beef eaters and your catering places, so you could get fresh toast at least. I wasn't a fan of the marmalade. The jam was bordering on just about acceptable, but most mornings I had toast and butter, and that was it. And then I couldn't wait to get somewhere for a drink because I was dry as a bone. I did find, even though it's exactly the same food, and I don't know why, but I did find that in the Coast the food seemed better than it was in Coral Beach, which is crazy because it just looks like there's a kitchen down the centre of the two and they feed both sides. So it doesn't make any sense really for it to be different. The baked beans I didn't think had any flavour. The black pudding been under the light, so it was mostly dry as a bone. Boiled eggs I didn't try. Mushrooms never again. Fried bread, I remember seeing fried bread. Probably wouldn't have had it anyway. Now the fried eggs were a weird one. So the fried eggs, some of them were undercooked underneath, but on top they were cooked obviously from the light, no doubt, and then you find the yolk is rock hard on top, but if you take it off like a bloke wearing a baseball cap, if you take the cap off the top, there's a bit of runny yolk in it. It was such a weird experience having those fried eggs. I had them on the first day and I tried them from Coast. It was slightly better from Coast, but again, not the best. Kippers didn't have the hash browns tasted like if you buy hash browns from a takeaway and you put them in a polystyrene box and then you eat them 20 minutes later and they're like, yeah, it is an hash brown, but they're a mixture of soggy and stale tasting. That's kind of what they were. Now I thought I'd be very clever here. Thinking outside the box, I thought, right, I'm going to be clever here. And what I'll do, I'll wait until they put fresh eggs out and get them as they came out. But they must be storing them in the back because they came out like that, as did the bacon. And I tried the scampi one night, and the scampi was the same. There was no scampi out. The lady bought some out, but it just tasted that same stale, like it's all just been sat for hours and warmed up. Maybe it has, I don't know, or it's had foil over it or something, so the moisture's gone into the food, made it soggy, then they've took the cover off and it's dry. I don't know, I can't explain it. I don't work there. It was just shocking, the food. So that's pretty much everything. They had a cereal selection which I didn't have. Says bakery there, essentially bread, mini croissant, your jams, your butter, sunflower spread, etc. And obviously your coffees, same as before. So yeah, for me the food was a massive disappointment. I do like my food, as you know, and the basically in the evenings I'd try a bit of something, and if it was terrible, I'd go to the salad bar and they had like like the little part bake rolls, if you like, that you might have with soup, and I'd put 5 of them on my plate and get some salad and then get some meat, whatever the meat of the day was, and essentially I was living off salad butties, which might have done me figures wonder, but I'd gone on holiday to enjoy myself. I'm not a fan of salad. I'm a meat eater. But yeah, maybe my standards are too high. I wasn't expecting much, and I've had a lot of rough food, but that was below that rough standard for me. It really was. One thing I will say is the staff, obviously when you go in you were greeted, it was all very friendly. The staff throughout were all friendly and smiling, and the speed they cleared them tables, it was so busy. Staff were spot on, and the same everywhere, to be fair, on the bar. I found the staff all helpful, all jolly. The park itself was very, very clean, and there were people round cleaning all the time. Bars, in the bars, all the tables were getting cleaned. They were all on the game, which I thought was really, really good. So that's your food. For your drinks, so I am going to put a picture up towards the end of the page, the video, sorry, that I'm doing. But basically, you have a wristband, and the wristband states on it how many adults can have drinks. So, in my case, it said 3 adults. So, what did we think about the all-inclusive drinks? So, it was pretty good. I thought the drinks were good value for money, to be fair. Let me see if I can find in my gallery the drinks menu, just to show you the basics. Gallery, camera. No, let me just move that off there. You don't need to see any of that. No, I'm not seeing it. I must have saved it somewhere else. Let's try again. Gallery, and try to screenshot it. Perhaps. Yeah. So, here's the drinks and stuff. So you can see here, I'll just zoom in a little bit so you can see you've got your cocktails and stuff. Strawberry woo woo mojito, raspberry mojito, passion fruit mojito, strawberry daiquiri, pina colada. So I thought they were freshly made cocktails. They were potentially, but I'm picturing the guy with his cocktail glass shaking it with the ice and everything. It's not quite like that. So basically, you've got to listen really carefully to this. They had cocktails in cartons, or mocktails in cartons, called Funk In. To be very careful there. So, to be fair, they were very tasty. So, all the flavours there, the staff would put ice in a glass, pour however much of the let's call it a mixer so I don't slip up, of the mixer into the glass, top it up with a bit of lemonade and whatever spirit. So if it's a spirit that has white rum or a spirit that has vodka, then they put your shot in, give it a stir round, and it worked brilliantly. And I imagine that's going to save them masses of time in the evenings when it's busy. They can just pour them across and make a cocktail really quick. If someone asks for a mocktail, it's just a case of pouring it out, adding a bit of lemonade and ice. But they tasted really good. Sometimes they make these things with syrups, and the syrup's that sweet, you just do not want to eat it. You do not want to drink it because of the syrup is that sweet. But I thought these were pretty good. I did have, so I think I had like 14 mojitos one after another, and they never became too sweet. Other things they had on draft, and I'll get to that in a sec, so you can see there, hopefully, Budweiser, Carling, Coors, Madry, Guinness, Sharps, Doom Bar, I don't know what that is, ciders, and then on spirits, they've got like Archer's, Bacardi, Bell's, Gordon's, Jack Daniel's, Southern Comfort, Captain Morgan's, Malibu, and it was the proper stuff. So I kind of expected them to be using cheap stuff, like a home brand vodka, a home brand, but it wasn't. It was all the proper stuff, which I was pretty pleased with. So you could order these drinks, as many as you want, obviously, if you've got whatever numbers on your wristband, 1, 2, 3, 4, however many, that's how many drinks you can get at one visit. The kids' drinks, they don't mind you getting like a Coke anyway, but adult-wise, it tells you how many adults are in your party, so you can't get more than, in my case, 3 alcoholic drinks at a time, which is for your table sort of thing. Yeah, it's pretty good. So service-wise, it was pretty good while we were there. I think we got served fairly quickly each time, except for one day. There's a minor problem. Another person from, it wasn't on our party, but came with us. They forgot their phone. They'd left it at the table. So they got to the front. I was just getting one drink for myself. So I said, oh, well, I'll order his drink sort of thing, because we're all the same group, same booking and everything. But they refused to serve us. They made him go back and get his phone and then get back in the queue, even though I had another 2 spaces to buy a drink. They would not serve us. It just seemed mad to me at the time. Maybe that's how it's supposed to be. I don't know. It just didn't seem right to me that you couldn't do that. If you can order up to 3 drinks and I'm only ordering 1, why couldn't I have ordered his drink? Anyway, he came back half an hour later and he'd got his drink. He was quite a bit annoyed. The other thing, while we're on about the bar, that was a problem. So my daughter's 18. My daughter will be 19 at the end of October. She brought her ID with her. So on the Butlins website, it says photo IDs required. Obviously, if you're under 25 or whatever it is, bring your ID. And it says provisional license as an example. But she doesn't have a provisional license, so she couldn't bring one of those. So the next thing on the list is passport. She's not been abroad, so she hasn't got a passport, so she couldn't use that. Next thing on the list, any photo ID. Well, she's got all that because she's just gone through college and stuff, so she's got all her ID. The barman wouldn't accept it. He said, no, you look too young, we can't serve it. Now, I understand you've got to be careful. You don't want to be done for serving a minor in any way, or someone who potentially could have been a minor. But she had the ID and everything proving she wasn't a minor. But the bloke said, I'm sorry, that type of IDs can be forged easily, so I can't serve you. So she'd gone on holiday as a pre-birthday type holiday for her. Nope. Couldn't get a drink all week. Not only that, while I was there, I did say, oh, that's my daughter, mate. She's old enough and everything. No, don't believe it. Blah de blah. And it was the same at other bars we went to on Park. They would not serve her, even though she had ID. On that particular night, the security guard came over to her and said, if I catch you drinking, I'll throw you out. It's like, what are you doing that for, mate? She hasn't had a drink. She's been told no at the bar. She's told us she's not had a drink. In the end, she went and sat on her own because she has anxiety and she was scared that someone would think the drinks on the table were hers and throw her out. Crazy. Happy holiday, guys. Anyway, so back to drinks. The other things you can get. Let's go the other way. Obviously, you've got your wines and stuff, your spirits, all inclusive. So you can get Costa. Just show you the soft drinks there, sorry, as well. Coke Original, Coke Zero, Diet Coke, Dr Pepper Zero, Fanta Orange, Schweppes Lemonade, say that again, easy for you to say, apple juice, cranberry juice, orange juice, pineapple juice. So there's also Costa sections that you can get with your band, and they do Americano, cappuccino, latte, espresso, hot chocolate, mocha, tea and specialty tea. Ooh, meant to have a green tea and forgot all about it. So they do all those, and I was excited because I do quite like a Costa coffee. And in the main section of the park, like in the main venue bit where the big tent type thing is, there's a Costa there. I was well excited. Went in to get me coffee. Yep, you can't use that here, friend. I was like, eh? He says, Costa, I can use it unlimited, mate. Yeah. No, you can't use it in the actual Costa bar, of all things, which seemed a little bit crazy to me, but hey ho. So at the bars, they have Costa machines. They're alright, but they're not as good as when you walk into a Costa and have it made fresh. It's a machine, a bit like the machines you see at petrol stations and stuff. They are acceptable, they are a drink, they're not bad, but they're not like a proper Costa, so just make you aware of that. There are a few scattered about. There's one right near the fairground park, just down the side near the snooker hall, near the kids park that's on the video. There's one there, so you can go in there, get your cokes or your coffees, whatever, tea, whatever you fancy, and chill out there for a bit. In the main part, the Jellyfish bar has one, the bar next to it has one. Not too sure, I think that might be it, you know. I can't think of anywhere else that had them when we were out, but I didn't go in all the bars, unfortunately. Seemed to stay to the same ones. So that's pretty much it for drinks. So basically, even though you had the wristband, you would get a QR code sent to you like that one from Butlins, and basically you have to scan that every time you get your drinks, and that tallies up and okays it, so you get served. What else? I think that's it pretty much. So that's it for drinks. As for the actual place, it was decent. I just didn't like the food. Other places that we ate were Burger King. So I do like Burger King. So we had the chili cheese bites, which were lovely from Burger King. But what we did find was every time that you had a burger from Burger King, it was dry as a bone. Every single time. 7 of us had a Burger King, and everyone complained about the flavour was there, but the actual taste was just dry as a bone. It really was. There were other offers around the park. The chippy, I think it was like 20. I'll put it on at the end, but I think it was 25 quid, and it was feeds a family of 4 with like fish and chips or pie and chips and sausage and chips. It's pretty good that for on a park. The Nisa store did a meal deal. I think it was about £5.50, like you see everywhere at Morrison's and stuff. But if you're self-catering, £5.50 is not bad for a full meal for your tea or what have you. It's pretty good that. For me, one of the better places has to be what was it called? The fat pasty or something? Good quality pies and pasties on there. I think they were about £3.50 each or something, but they were good quality and they were filling. There are times they have a board up, which again I'll put on at the end, but they had a board up in there which shows you the peak times for joining the queue, but we found it didn't matter when you're going for your meals, the queues were rammed. Actually attending venues, so we did watch Mr. Maker, Mr. Tumble, which were very good, but the queues were massive. Obviously those people that want the front seats must have camped out, because it was massive queues. We got in right at the very back, but that's where your other app comes in for booking these things as well, to make sure you get a place and you don't miss out, because it does get really busy in there. But yeah, that's what you're greeted with as you arrive, the Butlins logo. It was a good holiday. I'd love to go again. I thought the drinks package was brilliant. It really was brilliant, and it's easy to use. They need some clarification on that for younger kids, because we did everything they said, yet we still couldn't get served with drinks for my daughter, which is a bit annoying, really. It kind of takes away, you've gone on there to have a good time, and that spoiled it, as did the food. I mean, I'd rather have paid extra to have better food. I wouldn't change the drinks package. Not really. The only downside that I found with the drinks package was on the last day, when before we came home, the one thing that I did want was a drink first thing in the morning, because obviously I've not been drinking from the cafe place, and I was really thirsty, and there was nowhere open on park. So you've got to be out your chalet for 10, you're allowed to stay on park till 12, but there was nowhere open. We were leaving at 11 and there was nowhere open on the park where you could get a drink from. And when it gets to the last day and your kids are jumping up and down, if it's the last day, I just want to do this one more time. Well, my kids wanted to go on the waltzers and dodgems on the last day before we went. But unfortunately, they were closed on the last day. I couldn't believe it. So we had to stand in the arcade for half an hour instead. Bit gutting, but there you go. But overall, everything was pretty good. The drink package was really good. I'd definitely include that if I went back. If they didn't do something with the food package, I would not have the food package. Just off park, if you actually come off park and turn left as you come out the gates, if you drive for literally 2-3 minutes, you're in a town. They've got, obviously I didn't know that before I went, but you've got your Chinese takeaways, your Indian restaurants, Chinese restaurants, you've got your burger places, KFCs, there's a Mackey's just round the corner, there's fish and chips everywhere because you're near the seafront. There's tons and tons of every food. There was Greek there was Italian there, everything, every food you can think of is just off the park. So you could go self-catering. I'd probably go off. If I went again tomorrow, I'd have the drinks package, I'd go self-catering, I'd go off the park, I'd buy a couple of loaves of bread and something for sandwiches for my dinner each day. I'd have bread for toast. I won't bother making bacon, I want it easy on holiday. I'd have toast, and then in the evening I'd nip off park, literally 5 minutes away from a takeaway of your choice. They had everything. So, yeah, that's about it. I can't think of anything else that I've missed. What other tips did I have? Only on the food, keep your eyes peeled for when they fill it up. Sometimes it can be a bit fresher, especially as it was with the beef noodles in particular. The stuff that was out looked terrible, but the stuff that they bought out, the new stuff, wasn't too bad. Desserts, the warmer desserts tended to be better than most of the colds. The double chocolate fudge cake or whatever it was, everyone seemed to like that. I didn't, but the others seemed to think that was the better dessert out of them. The beach, it's not the prettiest of beaches, I didn't think. It's gated with security, which is good, because a lot of parks I've been to don't have that, and you get people coming in up off the beach causing trouble. But that one does have that, which is pretty good for that. And they do have an hot dog stand as you go through there, and your normal beach type shop, so you can get any little bits you need. They did have an old original Butlins accommodation from years ago, which I thought was nice to see, which is just near the entrance to the beach. There's loads of places on park. If you want to eat on park and you don't want to be in with a package, you've got Burger King, you've got the Chippy, you've got the Nisa, there's another one round the corner, Fire some at Papa John's, there's another like pub grub type place. There's, you know, there's loads of places you can still eat on park. Obviously it is a bit dearer than going off park, but it's always like that when you're on holiday, isn't it? Anyway, I think that's it. I will add these other clips on the end for you to see some prices and remind you of the offers. But until the next one, cheery bye. Guys, just got out of breakfast. Never again. It was hanging.
It was lovely.
I don't know why she's saying it was lovely.
No, it was just okay.
It wasn't okay. I'm dry as a bone. Been awake for like 2.5 hours and I've still not had a drink. So guys, we have just had breakfast. Same setup as the tea yesterday, you just help yourself, it's all in metal trays, away you go. I am booked in for breakfast for the rest of the week. I will not be returning for breakfast on any day. It's just absolutely horrendous. So I'm going to go through each item and I'm going to give each item a mark for what I've had. So chopped tomatoes 2, baked beans 1, bacon 1, eggs 2, sausage -10. It's just atrocious. Hash browns I'd probably give a 3, maybe. Even the toast, because they're making the toast and throwing it on the worktop ready for you as you go past, it's like the toast is just stale. It's like, it's not crunchy and it's not soggy, it's like some chewiness in the middle. The bacon is absolutely disgusting and it's got like chewy rind on it and stuff. The sausages couldn't be any cheaper at all unless you just made it with like breadcrumb and nothing else. It's absolutely horrible. I didn't even like the marmalade, so my backup was I can have toast and marmalade. This is the marmalade. Hanging. Not having that. It just tastes weird. It's not like any marmalade I've had before. The butter was alright, but as I say, when it comes to having the toast was shocking. I don't really do cereals and pancakes and that. You can see there, look, pancakes, fruit in a bowl. We have heard mixed reviews with the pancakes, ranging from 2 to a 5. Some people seem to think they're edible, some don't. The fruit, I don't know, she looked like she was body popping when she had a mouthful of that fruit. So it looks like it's very tart. And the fried toast was awful. It was like, I don't know, it was like a hard sponge. It was just horrible, no flavour to it. Did try a little bit of scrambled egg as an alternative to the fried eggs, but unfortunately it was worse than the fried eggs. So it's just something to bear in mind. If you're coming on one of these holidays and you want all the food included like we did, so you got no worries having to make food or anything, the breakfast and evening meal looks like a brilliant option. But I've got to say, absolutely terrible. Terrible. I just can't explain it. I just did not like anything here. And the other thing is the coffee here is that bad that you can't even have it like a tablet and just wash it down as quick as you can, because the coffee is worse than the breakfast. So I've come out, I've had some bits of food, not enjoyed any of it, and I can't even have a morning drink. So yeah, breakfast is a no for me. So guys, this is where you get your soup and bread rolls. Obviously this is the end of the night now in here, so everywhere's battered pretty much. This is all your salad section across here. Got this is your kids' counters. You've got your beans, your nuggets, pasta, pizza. Coming down you've got your fish of the day, which was Thai fish cakes, peas, chips. Then your main meals and stuff on here, garlic bread, lasagna, chips, chicken. Loads of veg and stuff here. That makes it veggie section over here. There's something for everybody all the time on here. I've got all these cakes in here. The list is crazy. There's just loads and loads of food. And your hot food section here for desserts as well. As you can see the size of this venue, all this was full a minute ago. And all that down there, and it goes all the way through again to the other side as well. So guys, day one at Butlins, so we've just got some stuff quick. We've only just arrived, a little bit late, but we'll give it a go. Well, chips are alright, you can get away with them chips. Everything was hot when I got it. Obviously it's cooled a little bit now. Didn't want to use the camera because it's rammed in here. So, the lasagna's not bad, to be fair. This is peri peri chicken. So here, you can see I've just scraped some off the edge of it, so it was easier for me to get and hold this because I haven't bought my GoPro handle with me. To be fair, the chicken's not bad. But other than that little bit of skin, there's not really any flavour at all. It's really lacking in flavour, that. It literally just tastes like chicken on the bone. I can't taste any flavour but feel the heat. I've got the same issue here. This is a Thai fish cake. Struggling to cut it one-handed. There we go. So here's a Thai fish cake. So as you can see there, there's like no little flecks of chilli or seasoning or anything. And there's a reason for that. There's none in it. It just tastes like a really cheap fish cake, potentially with a lot of breadcrumbs or something in it. Flavour wise, it's a lot less flavour than a cheap fish cake. So far, star of the show there is going to be your lasagna. Salad stuff looks alright, to be fair, but I don't really do that. So I've also got here a coffee. Now this is a black coffee, pretty much what I drink other than Coke. So I have tried a bit of that coffee on my spoon. It's the most disgusting drink I can ever recall having. It actually made me feel a little bit gaggy. It's a shame because that's all free. However, I do have the all-inclusive drinks pass, which allows me to go to a separate place and get alcohol if I want. free or whatever I want to drink. Fortunately, the queues are that hectic around that station because they've beat me to it and tried this coffee before me. So you'd be queuing for 20 minutes just to get a drink. Better to eat this as quick as you can and move on to the next place. But like I say, lasagna, which I was probably dreading the most of the things on my plate, lasagna's pretty good. It is under seasoned, but carefully adding some salt and pepper just spruce it up a little bit. But as a standalone, its flavour isn't too bad, whereas everything else is very much under seasoned. Chips are alright though, and everything was hot. I'll come back to you soon.
Let's hope the breakfast is better. We have buns.
So guys, wasn't impressed with the mains. You can see here, that's my last mouthful. I've been getting the soup rolls. The gammon was really tasty. Got a soup roll with butter and made gammon butties. Well, nice. We also do cheese, so it's a good alternative if you kids don't like anything. So these are two of the desserts. I think this one was like a double chocolate cheesecake. Give that a go. I don't like that. I don't like that one. Whatever that is. It tastes alright as I'm carrying on chewing it, but I'm going to have another piece. Something tasted weird with it then. The actual texture and stuff isn't like a cheesecake, it's more like a sponge. That bottom bit was alright, so I'm wondering if it's the chocolate sauce on top. Can I get just that sauce? It's a bit iffy that. So we have got an eat and mess one here. Let's see what the eat and mess is like. Apparently it's the same puddings every night. I just need one good one. I don't think it's that. So it's not as bad as that one. I don't know what I expected. So the base is very soft, not as firm as a cheesecake base. The main part of it, like what you can see here, that's pink and white, it almost tastes like blancmange, and then a bit of ice cream sauce on. I think that's supposed to be like meringue on top. I'm not sure whether it is. Gone in again. I mean, it's not bad, but I suppose I could have 700 of them because it's all like add what you want, but I don't think I'd want. I'll have this one. I might have another one through the week, but it sounds really good, doesn't it? But they do have sticky toffee pudding on an apple crumble, so there's still hope. But I'd probably finish that one. I don't think I'll finish that one. So come back to you when I've got something different to show you. Oh, before I do go, so we do have the all-inclusive drinks. So that basic coffee thing, God knows what the hell that was. That tasted like someone had put charcoal in a bucket of water and just filtered it straight in. It was absolutely rank. The Coke, I'm assuming it's Diet Coke. It's a little bit under on the civet. You know how I like to moan about it.
Yeah.
It's a little bit under, but it's not bad. It's only just under, so it is an acceptable beverage. But yeah, nothing to write home about yet. Still, sun's out. So guys, you can see here we've got sticky toffee pudding and custard, apple crumble and custard. So I am looking at the custard and it looks like it's powder and water to me rather than milk. Obviously save some money, but let's get into it, give it a go. It might be exceptional. Someone's just giving me a dirty look, so I'm shutting up a bit now. So, yeah, it's just water. It's been made with water, that, instead of any sort of milk. Yeah, I don't know why they've coloured it yellow. They could have poured it straight from the kettle. I don't know what the heck that is, I'll be honest with you. Good God. I mean, I'm not expecting the Ritz or anything here, but I'm pretty sure I've had enough of that one. So, on to the crumble. Same custard, no need to tell you. Yellow kettle water. Let's try and get a one-handed scoop without the bowl going all around the table. Oh, there you go. It's a good one, that. Watch it be boiling now and give me a blister. Apple crumble's definitely the better one of the two. Tastes a little bit too sweet, actually. I will finish the apple crumble. It's a big portion, I don't know who's put that in my bowl. If I have that, I don't think I'll be able to get out of my chair. But, yeah. I'd say the apple crumble's alright, but that poor attempt at custard is just absolutely disgraceful. And that sticky toffee pudding's a miss. It's a no for me. So guys, another day. Chips, pretty dry. Scampi is okay, but it's very dry. There was some beef noodles there. The older stuff was hanging, but they did put a fresh one out, which I got. Got this chocolate fudge cake, it's pretty good. A lemon cake, which looked bone dry, but it was really tasty. But see some of this other stuff here. That's your pizza and your mac and cheese, which nobody's touching that. Like, they had a little bit each. The ice cream is like this, which is like your Mr. Whippy stuff. It's alright. Salad selection there, you can see the meat looks a bit dry. But yeah, you do get bits on there. But yeah, that's about it. Can't even drink in here because the drinks are not for me at all. So guys, you can see on the drinks machine here, you've got cappuccino, mocha black coffee, cafe latte, flat white, cafe au lait, hot water, white coffee, chocolate and chocolate, confusing. Oh, it's chocolate and chocolate. Very nice, all taste hanging, absolutely hanging, but you know, you might like it. That just might be me. There is a soft drinks one as well, which I'll come back to you shortly. So there's someone using it at the moment. I'll come back to you in a sec. You can see it's a decent choice of drinks. You just get your cups from the side. You've got your clear cups. And here's your normal drink. You can see on here you've got the different juices. The kids have had all these. Everyone seems happy with the water. Ooh, time tunnel. Everyone's happy with the water and the red fruits are good, but the others apparently not so good. But yeah, again, your taste might vary. These you just get your cup, press the button and you're off once you're in the all you can eat food halls. So guys, that venue was Coast. So that's a smaller venue compared with most of them. The one where you normally eat that gets the bigger queues is Coral Beach. So you can actually go to any of these apparently, but some woman today said not, so I don't know, you'd have to check that yourself. But we've been in both with the same card. And to go into these venues, there's a guide on the door there that tells you what the best times are to come to avoid some of the queues. The other thing you can do as well, when you walk in, you get a red card, which is your key card for your doors. As you arrive at the food halls, there's like a Butlins host there who scans your card on arrival to check you can go in. If the kids are following you on, or parents following the kids on, what you can do is you can go in there, and when the host scans your guest card, he'll say, is it 4 of you? If it's only 2 of you, you can say 2 and he'll take your name so the other 2 can follow on later. And this is the main complex we're coming into now, which is massive, but I'm not going to film much in here because there's loads of kids about.